You're listening to PTC Point of View, brought to you by Preferred Trust Company, the preferred custodian for all alternative investments. We're here to provide retirement savers like you with the tools you need to succeed. Need a confidence boost when it comes to investing outside of the stock market? Do you want the power to build a tax-sheltered nest egg that will last through your golden years? You've come to the right place. Turn up your speakers and turn off cruise control, because we're taking you on the alternate route to investing with your IRA.
All right, so thank you, Leslie, for joining us today. Leslie is with XSITE Capital, and we're really glad to have him here today, talking a little bit about who XSITE is, what they do, and how you can invest through your IRA. So, Leslie, why don't you tell us who is XSITE and why was it started?
Oh, absolutely. Thank you so much, first off, for having me. So XSITE Capital is a private equity real estate investment firm registered here in the state of Maryland. The primary reasons why we started XSITE Capital was because we discovered the power of wealth, the wealth building power of the multifamily asset class. And we realized that as working professionals, as healthcare professionals, as immigrants, we had no preview that this asset class is available to people like ourselves to invest in. Because when we discovered the power of investing in multifamily assets as a wealth building tool, we started asking ourselves how many people in our community, in our healthcare profession, do not even know that there's a possibility to invest in this asset class. When we at work, when you get a job, we're traditionally told about the other paths of investments, which is like a traditional 401k plan. And we did not even know that you could create something like a self-directed IRA to put your funds in there that you'd be able to invest in this. So that's the mission behind creating XSITE Capital. We created XSITE Capital to go out there and educate our members of our community about the power of through investing in multifamily assets, to be able to bring our choice assets to members of our community and give them that opportunity to grow their wealth as well.
So tell us, what are the benefits of working with XSITE?
Well, the great thing you get working with XSITE is you're working with a company founded by three great professionals that put in their everything into this. Prior to starting XSITE, we all had successes in our different careers. So we bring some of that variety into the company here, pay very close attention to the kind of assets that we bring to our community, focus more on quality over quantity. It takes us a long time for us to find an asset that we know the members of our community, because a lot of our investors are like first-time investors. These are people that work with us in the hospital. These are people that we know how hard the work to save the $50,000. Although they're accredited, being in a profession as a professional ourselves, we know the amount of work that it takes for us to save the amount of money that we have. So we make sure that whatever we bring to the table to our investors is of high quality, that has high opportunity for reward and very low risk. We build a very strong team around ourselves of the best professionals in the market, in the industry, to help us take down this asset and to help us manage the assets as we go through our business plan. We also focus in on making sure that our investors are adequately updated on everything that's going on. Because for us, it's not just about creating opportunities to grow wealth, but also providing education. We want the investors to be aware of the power of this asset class, to learn how they could take advantage of this as well. So we do a lot of communication, a lot of education, and partner with companies like yourself to bring other possibilities that you could diversify out of the traditional investment vehicles to invest in alternative assets like this one.
So if someone is interested, they hear this podcast, they're interested in getting started with XSITE, how do they do that?
The fastest place to get started will be our website, which is www.xsitecapital.com. That's X as in xylophone, S as in Samuel, ITE. That's xsitecapital.com. Right there, you'll be able to take a look at some of the assets that we have. You have access to some of the events that we do, and you'll be able to reach out to any one of us or schedule a call with a member of our team. We would love to connect with more people and provide more value to more people. So please reach out to us.
What is the minimum investment amount? That seems to be the hot topic. What do I need? How much do I need to be able to invest with XSITE?
The minimum investment for most of our assets is $50,000.
Okay. And are there fees associated with it in order to invest from XSITE on the XSITE side? Are there fees?
So for every deal that we take under contract, we charge an acquisition fee, which is the fee that the sponsor charges for putting the deal together. Because as you know, it costs a lot of money. We're looking for these assets and bringing it together. So that fee kind of covers most of our acquisition expenses. And for doing the management of the asset, management team charges a 1% asset management fee as well. And so that is all written in the operating agreement and presented in all the presentation decks that we provide to our investors. Other than that, there's one more fee, a capital transaction fee, which is a fee that gets charged on exit so that we're able to pay the brokers or whoever is involved in the capital transaction as well. So other than that, we don't charge any additional fees and just invest and then you get your returns.
Awesome. Okay, so do I have to be an accredited investor to work with you all?
Yes, for most of our deals right now, it's registered under the 506C exemption, which means you have to be an accredited investor. But in the future, we do plan on bringing in some assets that would allow non-accredited investors to invest as well. So just be on the lookout. In order for you to gain access to those kind of opportunities, you have to be a member of our community already. So if you're a non-accredited investor and you want to invest in some of our future assets, please come join our community so that we could establish that relationship which the SEC requires, and we'll be able to share those opportunities with you in the future.
So if you're not an accredited investor, it's okay to get started now because you might be able to invest down the line.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. We have a lot of non-accredited investors in our community that we educate, and a lot of them have been pushing us. So we are going to bring in some assets in the future that allow for non-accredited investors to invest in as well.
Okay, great. Well, it kind of leads me to my next question. Where do you see XSITE Capital in the next 10 years?
Well, we have very ambitious goals. It's like when you see a need and you see like a huge community that needs that, and you know that you're doing something great to fulfill that need, you don't want to stop. So one of our goals is to get to 5 billion of assets under management within the next 10 years. So when we get there, maybe we'll shoot for 20. The journey has been an exciting journey of growth for all of us. It's just incredible to be in a business where you're able to provide a tremendous amount of value to members of your community. The North Star right now is 5 billion of assets under management and be able to give value to more than 1,000 people. So once we get there, then we'll shoot for something bigger. So
what do you think are some of the biggest challenges that you face or have had to face so far?
So I'll say, especially this year with the debt market being as volatile as it is right now, that's probably been some of the biggest challenges we faced so far, finding deals that actually work. Now we go into the experience where a lot of sellers still have expectations from when interest rates were down in the 3%. So it just takes a lot more work, which we don't mind doing the work to find the assets that actually make sense. So that's probably one of the biggest challenges that we're facing right now.
And so what do you recommend, or what do you do to help mitigate the risk for clients, and what can clients do?
What we do to mitigate the risk is we're very, very conservative in our underwriting when we're buying these assets. Now, as I alluded to earlier, we'll rather go without buying any assets than just to bring an asset over to our investors. So it takes us a lot of time to find those assets. And even when we find those assets, we manage them very conservatively. We make sure we keep an very close eye on how the management of the properties go. I want to underpromise and overdeliver. From the investor perspective, I know a lot of people just want to put their money out there and just let it work for them and don't even worry or know whatever they're investing in. But we highly encourage all of our investors to at least get a minimum understanding of how these assets work or how our assets are underwritten, how the projections are made. Because anybody can make any projections. The question is, can you meet those projections? So one of the things we do is we teach a class on how to underwrite. We do it every Tuesday night in the evenings for anybody, and it's free for anybody to listen in, attend. So you get a basic understanding of how the numbers in this business work, because it's a numbers game. It's a numbers business. Once you understand that, even as a passive investor, you'll be able to identify a deal and say, maybe the risk here is a little bit higher than what I can tolerate, or this is the perfect deal for myself as well. So that's one of the things we encourage members of our community to participate in and to give them that knowledge base so they can be able to make good investment decisions.
That's awesome. Knowledge is key for sure. And performing your own due diligence on the companies you invest in is super important. So we appreciate the education piece, definitely.
You're listening to PTC Point of View. Brought to you by Preferred Trust Company.
Due to the current economic conditions, people will ask us a lot, is this a good time to invest in real estate? How do you respond to that?
I say every time is always a good time to invest in real estate. Again, it's just about, like you mentioned, investing in the right markets and investing with the right sponsors and finding the right deal. Because especially now where there's a lot of uncertainty, this is probably one of the best times to find some real steals in the market. So although the deal flow is very low, but though the people that stay active and keep looking and just stick to the fundamentals will be able to find some real germs in this market. And that's what we intend to do. So I'll say just stick to the fundamentals and know what kind of investment you're making. And there are going to be some great deals coming in the horizon. So we're definitely excited for that. And if nothing else, educate yourself right now because there's some great deals coming down the pipeline.
So do you want to tell us what investments and offerings you have available right now currently if someone's looking to invest right away?
Oh, absolutely. We have an amazing asset here in Baltimore, a Class A property, 101 Elwood, which is one we're very familiar with because it's like 5 minutes away from where our CEO, Dr. Julius, only works. It's an area that we've known for a long time. And it's one of those deals that we're getting at a significant discount because of where the debt market is at. We're really excited about this one. And that's one deal that we have open right now. And we just closed on another deal in Atlanta on Mountain Vista. That one was closed a couple of weeks ago. So 101 Elwood it's open. Anybody that's interested, if you go on our website, you will see it as a pop-up. Just mark your interest and one of us will reach out to you and answer any questions that you may have.
Great. All right. Is there anything else about XSITE Capital you want to tell us today and make sure you get out there before we finish off today?
Well, we are just grateful to be in the business that we're in. XSITE Capital was founded by my co-founders, my partners, Dr. Julius Oni, Tenny Tolofari, and myself, to serve our community. And we're just grateful to be out here doing this. We would love for you to come be part of our community, and we could learn from you and share whatever we know with you guys, and hopefully provide some opportunities that will be of value to you and your journey to growing wealth.
Thanks, Leslie. We so appreciate you joining us today. And you guys, if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to Leslie and XSITE Capital. Make sure you check out their website. Again, it's xsitecapital.com.
XSITE
Capital.com. Make sure you check them out. And we appreciate you being with us today, Leslie. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Right.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of PTC Point of View, where retirement savers meet alternative investments. Know someone who's struggling with a retirement strategy? Tell them about our show. Can't wait for the next episode to learn more? Visit our website at preferredtrustcompany.com or give us a call at 888-990-7892.